Anyway, just give me an apple. I mean, that's the least y'all could do. Can I get a fruit basket, please? I mean, I'm not able to work. And sometimes when you catch COVID, they say it's only 14 days. However, you might be feeling those same symptoms for 2-3 months. And you telling me I'm not going to get paid for it? You're not going to give me a get well letter? No phone call. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? I mean, nothing. Anyway. So I was like, you know what? This is my livelihood. Being a nurse is my livelihood, and I did an oath to Florence Nightingale. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm still going. I'm gonna struggle through it. I'm gonna wear my mask, and I'm gonna put my shield on, and I'm gonna be good. Okay. So then I work. I end up relocating to this area because I relocated to a different area after all of my kids grew up. And my baby son, he actually started going to college. So instead of him being the one that would relocate to a college, he stayed in the same town, and I relocated to the area I wanted to stay in, which is just a couple of hours away, just in case if they need me, I can get to them easily. So then I relocated over to this way. Ended up working at a facility. I was working there and maybe I can't even tell you, probably about a month. And then I was deciding that I was gonna go ahead. That was just a regular staff job. So I was like, they're not really paying that much. I'm fixing to also pick up some agency shifts and get my money. So the same dude that he had gave me the shifts, and when I caught the COVID the first time, I went ahead and texted him, hey, you got some shifts? He's like, yeah, sure. Glad you're alive and glad that you can text back, and I got some shifts for you. So anyway, I picked up some shifts. He said, oh, there's no COVID on the floor. There's no COVID on the floor. So anyway, once I get to the actual nursing home, and I'm supposedly on the non-COVID side. Mind you, inside of the nursing home, the only thing that's separating the COVID from the non-COVID is a piece of plastic. Okay. So anyway, I'm the nurse already. I already got report. You can't leave your shift because that's called neglect. So I ended up, I had already resumed the shift. I couldn't change nothing. The CNAs started coming up to me, so-and-so got a low grade temp. So-and-so got a low grade temp, because they doing the vital signs. So they coming to the nurse telling me, I'm calling the doctor. The doctor is like, COVID test them, COVID test them. COVID test them, COVID test them. So anyway, I'm doing all these COVID tests. I want to say on my hallway, I had about, 20 people on my hallway. And probably 10 of those, it could have been 20 people. Out of the 20, 10 of them had low grade temps. So anyway, I was just like, at that time, I wasn't really running like a fever or nothing like that. I was good. So anyway, whenever the nurse came to relieve me, I was thinking, I'm going to go ahead and, I've been masking up, and I had on all these, aprons and stuff to cover myself so I wouldn't be contracting it, taking it home, whatever. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm on the non-COVID side. I pray to God that these people don't have COVID, because, I just been exposed to all these different people. So anyway, the girl said, I said, well, I won't be back here. I'm just picking up a shift, but give me your number. So she gave me her number, and then I was like, okay. So she gave me her number, and it was all good. I left that day, whatever. I ended up going out of town. When I end up going out of town, when I get back into town, I started feeling, it's about 2 or 3 days later, I started feeling like kind of feverish. I didn't feel just bad, but I felt kind of feverish. So I checked my temp. It was 99.9. I was like, that's a low grade temp. It's still not very high, fever is 100.4 or above. So I'm good. So anyway, then all of a sudden the next day I started getting the congestion. Then I checked my temp again, 99.8 or something like that. I'm like, okay, I'm good. So then, by that next day, I just felt so bad. It just seemed like every day that went by, something else started happening. Then I had a big headache. Then the next day, my body started aching. So by then, I started getting kind of scared. So I messaged that girl and I said, hey, did the patient get did all the patients get, did they results come back so I can find out, was they good? So she texts me back, girl, they all got COVID. I'm like, oh my God. And there I was, my head pounding, my body kind of aching a little bit. I got the congestion on both sides. You looking at Facebook, everybody, all you see is people that can't breathe. They dying from suffocation. All you see is, you look on the news, oh my God, you better hurry up, you're going to die, So it was just deaths all around or whatever. So I go to the pharmacy that was nearest to me, and I go get a COVID test. So anyway, Then at that time, they didn't have no rapid. So you had to wait 2 or 3 days. They make you quarantine for 2 or 3 days till you find out. Anyway, I go ahead and do all of that. And then on the 3rd day, they call me back and say, congratulations. They didn't even call me. Actually, they sent a text message where you log into your portal, you log in, and it just had big old red letters, positive. So I fell to my knees. I thought it was a death sentence for me, actually, especially after seeing everybody that had already died. And it could have been like maybe 150,000 at that point. And I was just like, oh my God. I called all my kids. I called my sister, them. I was like, oh my God. Oh. So, it was just, then all of that to say, it was just a horrible experience. I even let the person where I work know that was going on. He was just like, oh, I'm sorry, they said it was a non-COVID floor, and I'm sorry you got it. That's it. No pay or nothing. I ended up staying out 2 months. I ended up catching double pneumonia. I went to the doctor about 4 times. I begged them to keep me. They would not keep me because my oxygen level was 98%, even though my oxygen was 98%. My chest was hurting. I couldn't breathe. My back was hurting. It was just a whole terrible experience. Mind you, if you're an agency nurse, they don't really offer they didn't offer insurance. So I didn't have no kind of insurance or nothing. So here I am with doctor's bills. This is all for catching COVID for a man that would not even check on me, send me an apple, nothing. So I'm just like, I'm not real sure if I'm ready to risk it all anymore. At one point in my life, I felt like I could risk it. That I love the patient so much, and they, but after the COVID experience, I just really feel like, it's a lot of things in healthcare that's just not, it's not, period. So anybody that's wanting to be a nurse, I definitely don't want to discourage you to be a nurse, but I also want you to realize that they don't give no, I don't know what the word would be to say. Y'all know the word I want to say. But they give zero about you. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the bodies that's up in there, and it's all about the money. That's what it's about. So at this point, after I caught the COVID, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared to go back to be a nurse after that. But that's my livelihood, and especially after I've been out of work for 2 or 3 months. So yes, I started taking shifts again, but with a different agency. But in the back of my mind, I was just always thinking, like I've got to do something else. I don't know if I'm going to change my major. I don't know if I'm going to start vlogging. I don't know if I'm going to Uber Eats and whatever I got to do. But I just know that nursing is not what it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. Like I said, I've been a nurse 13 years, LVN 9. And I've also been an RN for 4. And this has by far let me know that they don't care about you. It's all about the money. They do not care, as long as there's a body in there, an RN to fill the shift or whatever nurse, or if it's an LVN or RN or whatever, They do not care. They do not care about you as a person individually. And why would you want to work for something like that? You know what I'm saying? So, here I am back like a young girl again, trying to figure out, well, I'm still young. Don't get it twisted. I'm in my 30s. But here I am. Now I'm trying to figure out, do I want to go back to school? Do I want to be a home realtor? Do I want to be a home investor? All this stuff is going into my head again. I'm trying to do a whole career change just because how I was treated in the healthcare field. And you would think the healthcare field, it's the healthcare field. So you're going to be like compassionate and caring because you supposedly care for the patients, right? But how you gonna care for patients and y'all don't even care about y'all damn nurses? Y'all don't care about them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't care if they die today, tomorrow, or whatever from catching it or whatever like that. Then if you refuse to be on that floor and take a patient, they're saying, oh, well, you're refusing care. Oh, you're trying to neglect your patient. No, I'm trying to protect me and my family because y'all are not going to protect us. That's what I'm trying to do. So all of that just to say, I'm not trying to discourage nobody from being a nurse. But what I will say is they definitely need to do some revamping and they seriously need to see, how you treat a person goes a long way. It really does. But when a person just sees that, oh, you're just another number and oh, it's just all about the money, it really make you think, is this something that you want to do long term? Is this something that you really want to be affiliated with? You know what I'm saying? Putting your life on the line. If you get sick, nobody cares. You might not even get paid for it. Now they're doing a whole mandate. If you don't get the vaccine, then you're losing your job. Last year, we were heroes. This year, if you don't get a vaccine, you jobless. I mean, really? Really? So now the heroes, a lot of them gonna be jobless. Nurses is leaving the facilities and stuff left and right. They don't even care no more. They changing majors. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy out here right now. And most nurses are not even taking staff jobs. They're only looking for travel jobs where they can make as much money as they possibly can so that they won't have to do it much longer, or they can hurry up and get out of it, or save up enough money where they don't have to be, because we have families and stuff. And just like you want your patients and stuff to be alive, you as a nurse want to know that you're safe, or that somebody even cares about you at the same time while you're taking care of others. So I don't know. I'm just on a big old rant right now. We're almost to the lake. But I feel for anybody that's a nurse right now, especially if you're a staff nurse and you're only making a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, everybody that is going to stay in the nursing field, or they did get a vaccine, they definitely need to be utilizing how much you can get paid as a travel nurse. Because being a staff nurse right now and dealing with the COVID patients, if you got somebody, you're taking care of a COVID patient for X amount of dollars, but then you got an agency nurse that's coming in and they're making thousands of dollars, and y'all doing the same work, and y'all are exposed to the same risk. You definitely need to be considering, is this something I want to do? Why would I stay here working for a staff agency when I can go over here and work for a travel agency doing the same job? I'm exposed anyway, but at least I'm making more for my money. And then if I get sick, at least I'll have enough money in my bank account or whatever where I can take care of myself till I get better. So anyway, I'm going to get off for my whole little rant right now. And I will let y'all back on when I get to the lake. And y'all will get to experience my regrouping, my lake experience. And then we'll go from there. Peace.